Hi, Sagittarius. This is Just with your tarot reading. I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. I forgot my intro. So Sagittarius, Mama said there'll be days like this, huh? There'll be days like this. My mama said, know that song? Does anyone know that song? Yeah, Mama said there'll be days like this, and some of you are damn sure going through it a little bit. But as they say, every day can't be Christmas and night New Year's Eve, right? And Sagittarius are the most optimistic sign. You always say, well, well, I'm gonna do this, and I'll figure it out, and you know what? Lo and behold, you're still doing the same very thing. Now, yeah, some of you are stressing, and there was some disappointment from your past that, may have stung a little bit, and it even could have fueled you a little bit. I do feel like it fueled you, even in a more positive way. Now, some of you may feel like, you've had to spend an upwards of about, anywhere from $300 to $400 on something that you still can't figure out how the hell it became your problem, or why are you losing this money, or why are you having to spend this money, or how the hell did this happen to you? But instead of stressing about it, or having to let something go, it didn't have to be financial, like monetary, but you had to let it go. And some of you, that's a challenge, to let a situation go that you feel was unjust, that you feel, and it may be the right thing to do, but you're having a hard time trying to understand how that's right. I'm having a hard time understanding how the hell that's right. So even in that, I feel that you Sagittarius are, or was, you may still be, for some of you, stressing and having a lot of worry and anxiety. Damn, you know what? I never saw this before. I never looked at it that way. But damn, some of you could be having nightmares. So if you did, put it in the comment section below if you'd like to share. But there was like nightmares, or just sleepless nights and worrying about, will things all work out for you? Is it all going to be okay? I mean, damn it, you guys are flying high with Jupiter in your chart last year, right? And so obviously with everyone, you're not alone. Every sign I've read for, and you are the ninth sign, has a not troubling, but challenging week in some area or another. For some of you, it's definitely going to be feeling like you're okay and everything is going to be okay, because you feel very confused, or at least you felt confused, but you get a sense of understanding. And instead of wallowing in stress and strife and anxiety, you say, no, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. And you know what? I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you're just cutting your losses where you need to. I think a lot of you guys are kind of trying to bounce back and not try to get stuck in a situation. And while you're getting clarity and making these decisions, you are still trying to wait to see if things are going to balance out. Will you finally be able to get a peace of mind? Is there going to be some increased health? Some of you could be expecting or waiting for some money. I mean, it is tax season, right? So it could be literally waiting for that. But there's an expectation of saying, once I have this, then everything else is going to fall into place. I need this. And for some of you, it literally is like a literal job. And you may think and be thinking like, I've been sitting around and saying what I need to do and what I got to do. And I kind of feel like I've done everything, and I've, reached out to people and counseled and analyzed and thought about it. And instead of thinking about it, now it's time for me to do. And some of you have started doing, and you've actually gotten some really positive responses. There's been really good news, and you felt like there's been bright prosperities coming your way, but there's going to be an ending, a change, an ending. And for some of you, it could be like great things are happening and then that ends. It could be where you felt like, you were just going, and looking, and that ends. But there's going to be an ending to whatever's been happening for you. And then something comes back. So some of you may feel like, oh, wow, this job is coming, or everything is going great with this position. That ends. It falls through. But then something else comes. Okay. And you, or some of you, may go back to doing something that's familiar to you, something that you know. And it's like you're testing the waters. You're testing it. You're trying to see if it's all going to work out, if it's all going to be what you need. Now, I do see a lot of on again, off again, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. So you're in the clutches of that energy, Sagittarius. And although it may have you in your head about a situation and knowing that you have to wait, and it's all of this hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. But it is allowing you to kind of get clear about things. And it's almost slowing you down so that things around you can kind of move forward or catch up to you, if that makes any sense. And then so you have it. You will start to hear from people. You will start to get feedback. People almost comes rushing in. So if you have your own business, expect a peak and valley, right? Expect some days high volume, some days low period, some days it's like crickets. Like, hello, is there anybody out there? But you are in this stop and go and stop and go, stop and go energy. And so with that, when you hear news and people come rushing in, and it could be, new news, but it seems to be very positive, but it's still going to be this, okay, still a stop, still a wait, still a pull back a little bit. But it's almost like it's in your favor. It has to happen. It's something about this start and stop and start and stop that kind of needs to happen for you before you can kind of move forward. I do feel like offers will come in and they will prove positive for you, but it almost seems at sometimes it may be a lot coming at you at times, but I feel like a lot of you are in good mental space to take on whatever could come at you that seems a lot. I don't feel like you feel overworked or you feel lost in all that's happening to you. You're going to find your footing through everything. So it's just the frustration I feel of waiting for something that you feel like you don't feel like you're waiting for something that you know you need. Let's put it that way. Now, home life looks good. Okay. But you may be running your house in a very unconventional, untraditional way. So if you guys usually do this, now you're doing it that way. Some of you may, and it could be a child that could be some of your kids could be unruly. You may have one that's great, apple your eye, or they are a beacon of light through this problematic child that may be doing bad in school, may have a problematic situation with family members. So there may be some issues with family members and some issues with a traditional way and how you maneuver in your home life. And a child could be quite unruly. I feel like this child, you may have a child who's a genius, someone who is a prodigy, someone who isn't being challenged enough. And they don't like the way that the school is ran. They don't like the way that, things are. And they're missing something. This child is not acting out just because they are missing something, and they need, Sagittarius, for some of you to take note of that. Okay. They got to get out. They need to be in sports. This person may be an air energy or have a lot of air in their chart, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, and they are overstimulated. So they need activity. They need to physically be doing something. I don't care if it's a boy or girl. They just need to get out and be very physical. So that may change, that you get them into some type of physical activity, extracurricular activity, and where you guys would normally come home, pick them up, and that's changing. That's changing. So if any of you guys are having children that are acting out, please know that it's more you can do to get these kids to kind of like get back on track. Love, singles. Well, money is the main focus right now, and that's what you're focusing on, paying attention to. Some of you men could be having a woman who's very focused on her finances, and she's a commitment orientated type of a woman, and you're spending a lot of time, energy, and effort toward her. But you may get some bad news. This woman may not be interested anymore, or commitment is not on the table. Some of you could go back to someone and realize that they're already taken. For some of you, Sagittarius singles that are single Sagittariuses. And I feel like others of you, you're really focusing on your financing, and that's where you're kind of getting more of your energy and your mojo back. You may feel like you're delaying a final decision to go back and readdress a situation with someone that you feel is kind of, the situation doesn't yield you anything permanent, or it's not worth it. You may not see the value in going back and communicating with someone, no matter what is being said. And I do feel like you are in this stasis of waiting. You or someone could be waiting for you, waiting to talk to you. You may fashion this person a liar, and you've kind of called them out on it. And it seems like regardless of how much someone's ignoring the other person, it still kind of comes out. There needs to be some type of communication. Okay. And so with that, I do see that there's still a waiting. And it's by choice that someone's waiting on another person when it comes to you Sagittarius singles, okay? Now, and it's kind of like, you know, the offer and someone's offering and someone expects to be the one to receive, right? So there's just a waiting period. Someone's going to continue to communicate and reach out, and we'll wait around for someone to kind of get their bearings and communicate again. Now, when it comes to Sagittarius couples, was it over? Was it over, Sag? Were you guys already thinking about marriage? Divorce? Talking about divorce? Talking about who gets what in the home? Because I see divorce here, breaking up and trying to recover from this, and feeling like there's been major talks. You've been stressed out over this breakup and you're trying to heal from it, and you feel like you have. Someone has come in and you've been stressed out about the situation, or someone has, and you may feel like, okay, I think I can move forward now, but now you're still waiting around for this love connection for you and this person. And there may have been an opportunity to try to talk and work this out with someone who's an emotional manipulator. And like I was telling some sign, I think Virgo, this person is going to stick to their lie. They're not going to revert from it. You have a very stubborn energy here. It could be you, Sagittarius. You could be the stubborn one. And you may have someone who is kind of losing patience, or they are not being very emotionally open. They're holding back emotionally from you. And you may feel like you have to stand your ground on this situation. Some of you are spying, or someone's spying on you, so be careful. Someone feels like, you know what, I know you're doing unethical things in this house, and I'm going to find out what the hell is going on with you. Someone may be trying to work their way back in your life as a couple. You guys went through a hard time. Now the person is trying to, work things out, you or them, and you're like, no, I know you don't mean me any good, and I'm going to get down to the bottom of it. So I see, this is a kind of relationship, Sag singles. I'm sorry, you might feel single in your relationship, like I was telling Taurus last week. But some of you coupled Sagittariuses, this situation, you're not really sure about it. And you just really need to take some time to try to figure out if it's worth it anymore. Because I feel like, just like a lot of signs, a lot of people don't trust people this week. It's a lot of not trusting people. And I think you've called people out on their stuff, and someone either, they put a toe out, then they take it back in. And then they feel brave enough to come out and try it all over again. And I feel that you get more and more stronger and more understanding of your worth and value. And I think that you've already came from a place of strength in this whole ordeal with this person. The female here, let me say that the female comes from a place of strength, where the male is kind of a mess. I have to say the male energy here is a bit of a mess, and could be an emotional manipulator. Could be someone who's kind of overtly emotional, all over the place emotionally. Someone that's trying to hold their emotions back, but maybe finding it very difficult to do so or to forgive. This person may get kind of vicious. They could get vicious. They could do something to almost try to spark you to act. And I do feel like you're evolving, Sag. If you are the woman here, or the woman in this equation, she's evolving. So there's just some things that you're not going to tolerate. You said what you said, and you're not changing it. You tell me in the comment section. Well, everybody knows what that is. So there's that. It's that type of thing. But again, I do feel like, you couple Sages, there's more to the story. Some of you could be dealing with a literal Libra, and there's that. Like, she's very much rooted in herself, and she's evolved. Hello. This Libra has evolved fully into herself, and I don't think she's going to tolerate too much of your shit if you are a Sag man. So I think you need to get it together. It doesn't matter if she's a Libra woman or a Taurus or whatever. It should be any sign, but I think that the woman here is nothing to play with. So That being said, we're going to look deeper into this relationship. I'm not looking at singles, only this relationship and what's happening in this particular love relationship. We're going to look at what's coming up, what's going on around it, and the outcome. So if you're interested in that, click the link below. We can finish up this read. If you would like something personal, click the link to my website. If you want to share, please do so in the comment section below. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. And subscribe, because I'll be back very soon with another one. Take care, Sagittarius.